Hey y'all, what's good? Now, as you can see, this is already the sixth video that I did for my channel today because I just knocked out 5 pieces. I just knocked out doing 5 pieces today. Now, this is gonna be another vlog video for you guys just to make sure that y'all up to date on some things, and I want to talk about something real quick. First off, a reminder from the previous vlog that I posted up on my channel. Remember, my previous account got hacked. Okay? My previous account got hacked, and so far nothing's happened, but I'm learning to live with that. And I've started fresh with a new Instagram page, and so far I already have ideas on what I want to do with that page moving forward. And so far it's been working out pretty good. So I'm learning to live with that. Fresh start, right? Fresh start for the new year. But it's always going to be the case with me that I spare my time on Instagram as well as other social medias that I use, because I don't want to get too crazy being on the internet all the time. I'm not trying to do that to myself. Because, I have to make up time for not being on social media as much. Make up more time for human interactions. So I just want you guys to understand once again that my previous account, Poetry Flames, for those of y'all who know my old account, Poetry Flames, the joint is still hacked. So far, nothing has happened in order for me to get my page back, my original page, but I'll be all right. I'm starting with a fresh new page. So I'm going to do my best to update more stuff on that page. I'm going to do my best to make sure that I do some more things with it that I thought about doing before with my previous page. But now I'll try to do it with this one. In the meantime, I'm going to keep doing my poetry. I'm going to keep making my rounds doing open mics. Shout out to everybody who has been putting me on so far, and I'm always looking forward to doing more of these. So thank y'all for putting me on, and I appreciate y'all for appreciating the work that I do, that I bring to the table. I can't wait to share more with y'all. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for the support. And thanks to everybody who has been following my new page and are aware of what happened to my previous account, because I'm starting fresh. So thank you guys for showing support on that front for me. I appreciate that. And for the newcomers, for the new people that follow me and I follow y'all back, or I follow y'all and you follow me back, I'm trying to keep up with y'all. I'm trying to keep up with everything that's going on. But again, I'm not trying to be on it too much. So if I don't get to you at some point, it's only because I'm trying to spare my time from social media and the internet to make up more time for actual people. Okay, first off, with my immediate family. That's the first thing, family first. you know and because we're still dealing with this pandemic out here, and we're still dealing with racial issues that's going on out here, we're still dealing with all of that coming off of 2020 going into this year. We're still dealing with all of that, and I'm hoping and praying that during these trying times, there's still good in this world. There's still hope in this world, because I'm always trying to hold out for that. Even when it seemed like it's a hopeless scenario to be in, even when it seemed like, what's prayer gonna do? That's not gonna help. We still gonna deal with this on a daily basis. But at the end of the day, as a Christian man, as a man of God, none of that could take away my faith at the end of the day. Because, like I just said, I'm always gonna hold on to hope. I'm always gonna hold out hope for something better to come. I'm always going to hope for something good to come out of all of this. Even with all the political shenanigans, yeah, I said shenanigans, even with all the political scandals and nonsense that's been going on as well, of all the bad things that's been happening out here, I'm still trying to hold out hope for better, as always. And I could only pray that for those of y'all that understand where I'm coming from, can do the same. That's all I would ask from y'all, is to understand where I'm coming from and that y'all can do the same, to hold out hope and seek better in this world, because that's the best thing we can do. At least find ways to be able to see the good, the potential for more good to be brought here. Instead of focusing on the bad all the time, it's always going to be the headlining thing. That everything bad, everything negative, that's what gets people talking. That's what makes the news. And granted, I've been throwing myself into the conversation amongst all of that as well, because stuff like this is the type of stuff to talk about, because it's bound to happen. It's going to happen anyway. It's not like you can escape that. You can't escape the real world. It's always going to find its way to you. So, with that being said, again, even amongst the negative of everything that's been going on, still find the good in this world. Still find the potential for good. Still find hope. Because that's the best thing we can do right now. That's the best thing we can do. And like I just mentioned off the top of this video, that I was updating my channel with new videos for poetry content, including this one, another vlog video, because I knew that I had to get back to doing it at some point. But here's the thing, it's not a scheduled thing for me to post videos on my channel, because the second I tried to do such a thing like that, thinking about days where I want to post for my channel, and then I stop for a long period of time, then it's like, what was the point of me thinking that or saying that whatsoever? I might as well just update my channel whenever I get the chance to, whenever I want to post more videos on my channel. And again, my videos are not going to be fancy edits and graphics and flashy and all of that stuff. It ain't going to be all of that. The real visual you going to get is me. At the end of the day, you just going to get me. I'm the visual, okay? I'm the visual of these videos. And I don't have a script to sound perfect on how these videos are going to turn out. Nah, I'm being me. And I'm speaking from my heart. I'm speaking from my mind. I'm speaking from a place where I'm genuinely me. So I don't come across like I'm trying too hard to be perfect for a video. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be so quick to get caught up in that, because I'm like, what's the point? What's the point? I mean, granted, with everything that I just said that I wouldn't do with my videos, usually that's what brings people in. That's what brings the traffic. If you can entertain people through that, if you can draw people in through that, okay, I get it. I understand that, because it's not like I don't get caught up in that. I don't get drawn into that. It's not like that doesn't happen with me. I get it. It's just that I'm not one of those people to do that. I just want to post the videos up, get them done, and just give y'all a sense of who I am, that everything that I talk about, everything that I say is coming from a place of the heart, of my mind, of my soul. I'm speaking for me, I'm speaking through me, and that's it. What you see is what you get. That's how it is with me. What you see is what you get, man. Um I also wanted to bring up the fact that, I thought about doing more vlog videos based around music and movies, stuff along the lines of that in terms of, everything going on in pop culture and whatnot. You know, I wanted to do some more videos on that. I thought about it. I might do that down the line. I might do some more of that down the line. I mean, I'm not a YouTube channel of movie reviews, music reviews, basically reviews on anything involving pop culture. I just speak on it how I do. Especially if I actually have a list to go down, I don't have it pre written, I don't have it like a script. I just go through it from memory. So when I talk about it, you're going to know about it. Although, shout out to the people who do put out that content, that do reviews for music and movies. I do appreciate different perspectives, different point of views on what a song or an EP or an album sound like to them, what it means to them. I like being able to have conversations with people on that front. Anything involving TV shows and movies, I do enjoy that as well. I love having conversations involving that. uh and even when it comes to the poetry side of things, I do enjoy the interaction that I have with people when I could bring up something involving pop culture, and for those who pick up on it, it's like, oh, I caught on to that. Or I do the same thing in return. They make a mention of something I'm familiar with, I'll be like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. I like that. I mean, more recently, I did an open mic. I did an open mic and it was on Clubhouse. Shout out to JC. Appreciate you for having me on there, of course. And she had this silly idea of having us who performed our work, even her herself, because she's the host of it, but of course, of course, she had to get involved. She's the one that came up with the silly idea for the rest of us, but she got to do it herself as well. This idea that she had, whenever we do our pieces and we finish doing our pieces, that we make an impression of an animal. We do a noise impression of an animal. And what's funny to me is that when I did mine, of course, I'm going to make a mention of another fellow poet that I enjoy listening to, and he is a joy to see and hear from with his poetry and everything. I'm gonna get to him in a moment. I will. Um, but when I did my animal impression, I did my animal impression in the ways of a character. Um, I did my impression of the animal sound and the character at the same time. And when I did it, it took a bit. It took a little bit. It took a little minute for everyone to get the guess in there as to who the character is. And I found it funny because for every guess that they were giving out, a lot of it was Dragon Ball and Pokemon. And I'm like, nope, it ain't none of those. But I love this. I love when people try to take guesses on something, especially if it's coming from me. Uh, I enjoyed that. But the character that I did and the animal impression that I did, because I did them both at the same time, was meant to be a snake. I did my animal impression of a snake, but the character more specific that I associated with that is Orochimaru. For anyone who's familiar with that character from the Naruto anime series, that's the character that I did. and one of them managed to get it right. I believe her name is Maya. Yeah, her name was Maya. Shout out to her again for being able to guess that character. She caught up on some anime stuff. She caught up on some Naruto stuff. I see her though. I see her though. But nonetheless, it was a lot of fun for me to do that. I did my impression of a character and the animal impression associated with a character, like Orochimaru. So for everyone to try to take a guess on that, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. It took a minute to get there, but eventually it got there. Someone finally got it right. um, but another fellow poet that I got a chance to meet more recently, from last year going into this one, the latter portion of last year going into the beginning of this. He did an impression of a monkey, or more specifically, an ape. Animal Soul, Animal Soul. He used to have an Instagram handle called I Am Monkey, but he uses a newer one now, or he's been using it for a bit. Animal Soul. Shout out to the man's right there when he did his animal impression of a monkey transitioning into an ape. He went Planet of the Apes on us. I'm like, let's go, Caesar. Let's go, Caesar. He did his animal impression of a monkey transitioning into an ape, doing the character of Caesar in terms of the newer Planet of the Apes movies. For anyone who's familiar with those movies, who have seen those three movies, and those three movies were incredible. And Andy Serkis, the actor who played Caesar, fantastic. I mean, at this point, this dude was known for motion capturing characters, the master of motion capture, you know? And for Andy Serkis to play Caesar, he is fantastic as that character. And Animal Soul, my man's went on and did an impression of that character that's nearly identical to how he sounded. I'm like, what? That was hilarious. That was hilarious right there. But I wanted to bring that in there. I wanted to bring that in there because it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to JC once again for putting me on. Shout out to her. I appreciate her for having the platform that she has and putting many poets on to be introduced, to be familiar with, and share poetry, share the laughs, share the good vibes. Because that's what we need, especially during these times right now. We need that. We need that. And that's something I always want to bring with me as well. It's not just someone else bringing that to me. I'm bringing it to them and everybody else sharing it with each other. I love that. I appreciate that. And I want to see more of that. Definitely. We need more of that. And one more thing that I want to get to. Now, the piece that I just did in terms of discussing in a nutshell what that poem is meant to be about, mental health. It's meant to be about mental health. And that for me, granted, as many times as I want to keep the positive vibes going, which I am and I still do, it's not like I'm perfect. It's not like I don't go through struggles of trying to understand my own mind, trying to understand my own psyche as to what's going on with me in terms of understanding the person I am and who I can become down the line for the better. In terms of talking about mental health in ways where it shouldn't have to lead to a self-destructive, let alone an exertion of destructive tendencies towards other people besides myself. That those who get caught in the crossfire that didn't deserve that. And therefore, I'm basically imploding on myself at the same time because it shouldn't have to be like that for me. And especially during these trying times that we in, I'm trying to get my mind right. And in that piece, I mentioned therapy. Usually, especially with the Black community, there's a stigma around therapy. And the messed up part about this stigma is that we need the help when we need it most. And plenty of times we tend to feel like, I'm not saying all of us are like that, but a lot of times there are those of us who just want to reject the idea of seeing a therapist because we don't want no stranger to know about our business. That chances are they might end up telling somebody about it, or maybe I'm just reaching on that part of it. But it's the thing for those of us who just feel like we don't want to tell a stranger our business. Our business is our business, whether it's friends, family, whenever, whatever the situation is, the circumstances are. In terms of dealing with the mental health aspect of it all, it's like we don't want to talk to nobody else outside of the people that we know, right? We don't want to talk to a complete stranger outside of the people that we know. So we could be analyzed and being told the truth about ourselves, and we don't want to hear it. The thing with me is that at first I was a part of that stigma, that I was close to rejecting the idea of doing therapy whatsoever. But the thing is, I feel like it is the best bet because what we need to do, that even when it comes from a stranger, even when it comes from somebody we don't know, until we get familiar with the person who's meant to remind us and tell us and figure out what's going on with us mentally, that it's not a bad thing to seek that help when we need it most, but to also encourage each other to be able to be on the lookout for one another, to help out one another when we need it most, to reassure, even through tough love, to reassure that lesson that whenever it comes down to understanding one's mental state, is to also appreciate the fact that when you do receive the help, when you do get it, you'd actually feel better by the end of it. And on top of that, you take those lessons, you take that responsibility on yourself and understand what you're doing moving forward to better yourself. Take these lessons moving forward to better yourself, to better understand yourself, to be more aligned with yourself. That when you feel yourself running into those tendencies of what got you thinking about your mental state in the first place, catch yourself and remind yourself those very lessons. Because when you need it most, that's when you need to reflect on it. And the more you do, the more you talk with somebody about it, the better you feel. Therapy isn't a bad thing. It isn't a bad thing. Not just amongst the Black community, because, like I said, there was the stigma surrounding that. But this goes for everybody. This goes for everybody. It ain't just one specific race, it goes for everybody. Especially for everybody who wants to do better, who wants to seek better, who wants to be better. That's the whole point. Therefore, when you receive that help, you can be a greater help to others, as well as the others being a greater help to you. Understanding your mental health, especially during these times right now, is the most important thing. Don't put it off. Don't reject it. Don't throw a stigma on it. Because it's meant to help. It's meant to get you on the right track. It's meant to help you center yourself and find yourself and better yourself. That's something I had to keep in mind for me. And that's something I'm going to continue to do. And for everyone else, that's all I will want to see from you guys as well. Ask for the help when you need it, when you really need it. Ask for the help when you want it. See, this is the part where the needs and wants come together. Usually we tend to separate the two. This is when the wants and needs come together. Seek the help when you need it. Seek the help when you want it. Why bring in the want? It's basically saying the want to do better, to be better. It's the decision that's on you to want to seek the help. Not only need it, want it. And don't put it off. Don't act like it's such a horrible thing. When you need help, when you want help, and you receive that, all you got to do is pray, hope for the better. And granted, for those who are not religious or those who are not of faith like I am, at the end of the day, seek hope for better. To do better, to be better. As individuals, as people. Understand where that's coming from, okay? This is coming from me, all right? But this is also coming from others who speak on this as well. Therefore, you can speak on topics like this and be a great of help to others as much as others being a great of help to you. Being able to talk with somebody about these things is the most important thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's something to cherish. We're better off because of that. No need to reject it. No need to toss a stigma into that. When you need it, when you want it, get it. Try to have a conversation with somebody to come to an understanding. Find common ground. Find the gray area in some form or fashion. Find that. Talk to somebody about that. Don't go on that self-destructive path, let alone a destructive path towards others that's going to make things worse for you than it had to be. Worse for them because they got caught in the crossfire of that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't bring that on to others. And, mind you, whenever you find yourself surrounded by toxicity that goes on in this world as well, step away from that before you get caught up in more mess. You don't need that in your life. You need to have more of a positive surrounding. Step away from the toxicity that's meant to pull you down, drag you down, make you want to doubt yourself, make you want to feel like life ain't worth living. Step away from that toxicity and rethink your position in life. Understand where you are. Therefore, when you move forward, you'll have a better outcome. Surrounded by more positive things, more positive people, more positive conversation. So with that being said, this video has gone on long enough. This is Blue Flames the Poet, and I'm out, y'all.